It's the holiday season, and today we're going to smoke a whole Texas-Pecan Turkey, and then we're going to finish it with a bourbon and sage honey glaze. This is our first whole turkey on this pit barrel cooker. I hope you'll stick around. To dry brine this guy, I've got 6 tablespoons of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Now you won't, this is a 12.7 pound turkey. You won't need all of this. It's just easy for me to remember the 6 and the 2. If you have a bigger turkey, you might use it all. Now, for the turkey itself, I have rinsed it off and then I have dried it off as good as I possibly could with some paper towels. You can see I'm touching the turkey and I put my hands in here, so I'm certainly going to throw away whatever's left over. And you just want to rub this on the best you can. And then you'll notice on this pan, I have it raised. And the reason for that is so we can get some air under this guy. Again, what we're trying to do, we're smoking. It's only going to be around 300 degrees. So that makes it a challenge to get crisper skin. So the dry brine, that's why I chose the dry brine instead of the wet brine, and why I'm using the baking powder. Now, ordinarily, I would let this guy brine for 2 days, or at least a day, or 2 days. But this particular one's only going to brine for about 17, 18 hours. The reason is I got up, instead of getting up and brining this guy, dry brining it, I got up and my son and I went to this place called Alligator Lake. Yeah, Florida Alligator Lake in kayaks. Tell me that's a wise thing to do. And we went fishing, right? I mean, I to go fishing every time I can with him. I'm sure someday he won't want to fish with me at all. Anyway, sorry for the story, but I just wanted to let you know that I typically would dry brine this guy at least 24 hours, if not 2 days. And this one, my friend, is only going to be be dry brine about 16, 17, 18 hours. Now, I am going to sprinkle a little bit down in the cavity, and I have washed this guy, washed the inside as well. You don't have to put a lot in there, right? You don't want it to get too salty. But just about got her all covered up. I'm going to wipe off my hands here. Then we're going to move this guy to the fridge, and we'll pick this back up tomorrow when we smoke it. Our turkey has brined overnight for, actually ended up being 18 hours. Now if you look, most of that salt and baking powder is absorbed. I've got a little bit there, a little bit there. Just going to take a paper towel, rub it down to wipe off any excess. Whatever you do, don't go rinse this guy off in the sink, underwater. If you do that, you sort of defeated the whole purpose, because you're introducing moisture back into the pitcher. And what we're attempting to do here is get a nice crispy crust on this smoker. Okay, you just want to do both sides. Still a little damp here. I want to make sure I get all that moisture off. And as soon as I can have him all wiped down, I'll show you how we'll season it. So we've got him all wiped down, and now I'm just going to use a little olive oil as a binder for our seasoning. I'm not going to measure. I can't imagine it being much more than a tablespoon or 2. Again, make sure you don't use butter. And the reason I wouldn't use butter is commercial butters have somewhere in the range of 15 to 18% water in them. So again, you want to avoid water if you want to shoot for a crispy skin. Okay? Now, for the seasoning today, we're using this Sucklebuster's Texas Pecan Barbecue Rub. It's got a nice light barbecue kind of, seasoning. It's got a little pecan flavor in it. Just going to get this guy seasoned up, and then when this side's all seasoned up, I'm going to turn it over, rub some olive oil on the other side, and season it. We're just going to insert our pit barrel cooker hanger here. Alright, pretty simple device to use. This is an optional item. And I'm just going to let him sit here for just a couple of minutes while we get that pit barrel cooker ready. We've got the cooker started. What I've got here is some pecan wood. Just going to spread a few chunks around. I think I got, what's that, for, I don't know, 6 it looks like. We've got our turkey here. And I'll check on this guy in about 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. We're going to check on the turkey. Ho, 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 look at the color. Okay, let's just get a look here. Wait me 1 second. Okay, you can see that's what she's looking like so far. I want to turn this guy over because I'm going to insert my temp probe now. Oh yeah, oh, it's got a little bit dark on the bottom there. I don't know if you can see that in the video. What we're going to do here is insert the temperature probe, okay, into the thick part of the breast. And I'm going to get this guy back down in here. Okay. So you can see here at our 2 hour mark, we're at 147. Now we're going to get that bourbon glaze going because we want to start glazing when it gets up to about 152, 155. Okay, to make this glaze, you're going to need some honey. I'm making a Texas-Pecan Turkey, so I'm using sage honey. We got Texas bourbon, got a little apple cider vinegar, and some butter. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get us a cup of this Texas bourbon. All right, let me go ahead and get our butter in here, get it start to melt. And we're going to take this apple cider vinegar and add it. I've got 3 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar. I started with a half a stick of the butter. Now you want to be really careful when you put this bourbon in, right? It's flammable. I have spilled it on the side of the pot before and flames come up, so you don't want to do anything like that. Okay. And then with this sage honey, you want about a half a cup, and I am going to eyeball it so I don't have to dirty up another pot. So a cup of the bourbon, half a stick of butter, 3 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar, and about a half a cup of honey. Okay, we got a little bit more to add there. I'm going to bring this to a simmer and then reduce it down by at least a third and maybe closer to a half. Another 23 minutes have gone by. This turkey's up to 158. That's how long it took to get the sauce ready. Okay. Color on him is great. Now, I'm just going to set this board here so we can glaze him, right? I'm convinced this would work better if I got the tray out, but I'm just going to continue to hang him. You know, some of this sauce will probably drip off. It'd be much easier if we go through this again, you know, pulling it out instead of getting this board each time. But I'm just bound and determined to cook this whole turkey while it's hanging. We're just going to turn the guy over. Get the other side done. And now we're going to get this guy back in the smoker. Continue to bring it up to 165. It's been 3 hours and 7 minutes and I've got my first 165-degree reading. Now what we're going to do is take a few more readings to make sure it's actually 165 in all the places we want it to be. Okay, let's just sit this bad boy up there. You can see the wings, you know, the tips have gotten a little dark. I'm not certain why that happened, but they did, but no big deal. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. 167, oh, 168 there, wow. Let's try over here. 168 there. This probe's reading 165. I think we're good to go. Let me pull this temp probe out. We're going to get it off this pit barrel cooker and let it rest for 30 minutes. Okay, let's get this guy off of here. Now I'll show you, you can see this side, color's quite nice. Over here, color's still good. It just got a little bit done on this side on the wings. So this guy's rested 15 minutes here. Total cook time was 3 hours, 10 minutes. Okay, you can see the wing tips did get a little dark, but we're going to cut into this guy, okay, and show you what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like too, and of course give it a taste. Okay. All right, so still quite hot. So there's a turkey. It's very, very minor pink here. It's very hard, very subtle, so there's not much of a smoke ring there. That's what she looks like. Okay, the skin you can see, it is not real soggy, otherwise the whole skin would pull off. It pulled right in two. So we're going to give this turkey a taste. Okay. Nice smoke on it. Not too strong. That rub we put on it, that Texas-Pecan, it's got just a nice balanced barbecue flavor. You know, it's not spicy, it's not sweet. Wow, it's really good. It is moist. I would be honest with you, it's not as moist as when I wet brine a turkey. Now I'm not saying wet brine is better than dry brine. It's my first one. That piece there was just full of moisture. So maybe it was just a particular bite I had. It's not too salty. Skin turned out awesome on this guy. I mean, this is cooking 300 degrees. I think this is probably as good a skin as you can get. Wow. Great turkey. My first one on the pit barrel. Turned out really nice. You know, I would definitely make this again. I get a little hint at the very, very end. It's so subtle of that bourbon glaze that we put on there. Wow, I always look forward for this time of year. Get to cook all these turkeys. It's just awesome. Hey, thanks so much for watching another one of our videos. If you have any questions or comments about this video, please just leave them down below in the comment box. Hey, and if you're not a subscriber already, I hope you hit that subscribe button.